Hello everyone and welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, where I'll be giving you 4 selections for tomorrow's racing, where I'll be focusing on day 3 of the Aintree Grand National Festival. But before we get into them, I quickly just want to go through a couple of things with you. Now, first of all, if you want to listen to the latest episode of the In the Saddle podcast, where we did our Grand National preview, where I was joined by Izzy Phillips, Liz Batchelor, Mark Horowski and Paul Callahan. If you want to listen to it, I'll leave a link in the description box below where we've got all the major podcast platforms covered. So if you want to listen to our thoughts for the Grand National, go there. Also as well, if you want to know what I'm going to myself be putting up for the Grand National, make sure you go and check out my preview that I recorded yesterday. I'll leave a link to it again in the description box below. And if you go through my recent videos on my YouTube channel, you should be able to find it. I'm not going to be putting up a Grand National fancy in this video. So if you want to find out about what I'm putting up for the big race tomorrow, make sure you go back and watch the video. Also as well, before I give away my tips, I quickly just want to reflect on how our selections performed today. In the end, it wasn't a bad day, as we had a winner at Aintree with Fakir Duderi. To be fair, I think everyone was on him. It was obvious to see why he had a great chance. He was advertised at 13-8 yesterday afternoon, and in the end he was smashed in the betting. I think he went off a shade of odds on, so that was a good result for us. Away from that as well, we had some good each ways. Zanap Favois ran a good race, finished in 5th place in the end, and was able to get the extra each way money advertised here at 12-1. We had Phil's Duderis as well, finished 2nd. He was able to get the each way money, and so did Spirit of the Games in the Topham, who ran a good race to finish 5th with the extra places. So yeah, on the whole, it was a good day today, and fingers crossed we can have some decent results tomorrow. And like I said, 4 tips for tomorrow's racing, where we're going to be focusing on day 3 of the Aintree meeting. And the first selection is going to be coming in the 145. And I like the chances of Remastered here for Tom Scudamore and David Pipe. Currently available at 15-2, 7 places on offer with SkyBet. Going to recommend a 0.5 each way selection here. Now, this horse Remastered is a really interesting horse. He's coming in here fresh tomorrow, which I think is definitely a positive. It means he's not been to Cheltenham and had a hard race recently. But this horse Remastered, he's going to be running over hurdles tomorrow after a campaign over fences. He's been quite a good chaser. He seems to be going pretty well in the Labrooks when he unseated with a few fences to go. He definitely probably would have gone close in that race. He was last seen finishing 4th in the Peter Marsh, which was actually a good race behind the likes of Royal Pagaille, Sam Brown and Fortescue. That form has worked out quite well since. He's come in here over hurdles tomorrow for a mark of 133, and he actually finished 3rd off this mark earlier in the season in a Potemps qualifier over the course and distance behind Kashari and Deishaba. That was a good run, and if he's anywhere near that kind of form, I think he's got a live chance. He's always been a good horse for David Pipe, and David Pipe's got a good record in this race. He won it a few years ago, and his yard are in much better form now. By their standards, they haven't had the best of seasons, but they're currently operating before today at a 40% strike rate. So the yard are going very well. He's pretty versatile ground-wise. I think if he's there or thereabouts tomorrow turning in, I think he's got a great chance of winning this race. And at 15-2, I don't think that's a bad price there. And I think he's a good each way bet. So that's why I'm going to be putting up as my first selection of the day. We then go to the 3 o'clock at Aintree. And on paper, Edwardstone looks to bank here. He really does. But I've just got a feeling that there could be a surprise, and he is a little bit short at the prices. And I just saw Amarillo Sky was interesting at 33-1. You can get a couple of firms at that price. I'm going to recommend a 0.5 each way selection here as my long shot of the day in case there is a boil over for Brendan Pout and Colin Tizard. Now, Colin Tizard is no stranger to putting up a few surprises here over the years. He tends to have a good record at this festival. And this horse, Amarillo Sky, wasn't discredited at all when he finished 5th at Cheltenham in the Grand Annual. Now, I know that was at the Cheltenham Festival and he could have had a hard race, but I just don't think he was suited by the Grand and the track. And I think you should mark him up for that. We've already seen the Grand Annual not be a bad race. A couple of horses that ran in it yesterday did okay. So yeah, I don't think that should necessarily be a question mark over him. But Amarillo Sky, I think drying out ground and a flat track will really suit him, because if you go back to some of his best performances this season, he beat Time White at Wincanton and he beat Shake 'em Up Harry, who finished 3rd yesterday in the decent handicap by 10 lengths by making all from the front. Sometimes at Aintree, compared to the hurdle track, if you get a good rhythm over the fences, it can be quite hard to peg back. And I just could see him there getting into a good rhythm and maybe putting a few of these out of joint. And Yes, he does have to find it on the ratings, but he's going to like the ground. He's going to like the track. I still think he's a horse that we've not got quite into the bottom of yet. He should get an easy time of things, I think, on the front end. And if he can get into a good rhythm, we've seen it time and time again, he might just be able to serve it up to a few of these. And if Edward Stone's not quite on song or makes a mistake, I think at 33 to 1, I think our selection, Amarillo Sky, might be a danger to him, and he's one not to ignore. And for me, I think he's got a good chance of maybe outrunning his odds tomorrow. So that's why I'm going to be putting him up there. We then go to the 3:35 at Aintree, the Liverpool Hurdle, where we've got a few in here taking each other on again from their run in the Stairs Hurdle at Cheltenham. But the one I liked here was Champ for John Joe Neal Jr. and Nicky Henson, currently available at 4 to 1. Nicky's horses have been running well, especially for the JP lot. We've had the likes of Epson, John Bon come in, Fakir as well, won today in the same colours. But Champ, I just think he wasn't suited at Cheltenham last time out by the nature of the track. I think he's better over a flat track. A lot of his best performances have come at tracks like Newbury. He won here as well when he won a novice hurdle over 3 miles, when he won the Sefton hurdle a couple of years ago. Ascot as well is a bit of a flatter track. I just think he could get the race run to suit tomorrow. Flora and Porter might be taken on by the likes of Ashdale Bob, and if he didn't get his own way up in front, I think Flora and Porter could be vulnerable, and I wouldn't want to be getting stuck into him. Champ is currently available at 4 to 1. Flora and Porter in the past, last year, threw in a stinker after winning at Cheltenham. And like I said, I just don't think he might not necessarily get his own way on the front end of things. I think Ashdale Bob will try and take him on for the lead. And we've seen over the last couple of days, you don't want to necessarily be making the run-in on the hurdles track. And it should just really suit a hold-up performer like Champ, who I could see getting a really good toe into the race. And yeah, I think he might be able to show his class. I know he's 10 years old, and 10-year-olds don't always win Grade 1s. But stay in division, we say it time and time again, it's such an open division. I just think that this could be Champ's day tomorrow, and I'm willing to take a chance at the prices. We then go to my nap, which runs in the 4:15 at Aintree, and I thought Oscar Elite here should be vying for favouritism. I can see why Shamblue, obviously with that Charlie Hull, looks well in off the mark of 148. But Oscar Elite for Harry Cobden and Colin Tizard tomorrow is currently available at 7 to 1. You get 6 places on offer at the time of calling SkyBet. I think that's a big price about him. Now, he ran an absolute stormer when he finished third in the Ultimate Handicap. He's got to take on the likes of T Clipper in that, but he beat T Clipper on that occasion. He's raised £2 to a mark of 140 for that performance, but I still think he could have a little bit more to come. He was a good novice hurdler. He ran well in the Albert Bartlett. He finished third here as well behind the Hoy Senior and Brave Man's Game in the Sefton last year. So he likes to track. The ground should be fine as well. He likes a flat track, and he's better on a decent surface. He's got more to come. Tizard's horses have been running well. The Ultima's been a good guide to this race in the past before, if you placed in it. Happy Go Lucky last year finished second in the Ultima, and then he went and absolutely bolted up in this race. I know the Yard do have Killer Kane, and some of his form looks good, but I'm not sure if he's that good over 3 miles, whereas I think Oscar Elite, there's more to come. I think his form reads really well in the context of this race, and yeah, I think that there is a lot more to come, and Harry Cobden as well, keeping the riders a positive, and he's had a couple of winners at Aintree already this week. So lots to like about Oscar Elite tomorrow. I think he'll be there or thereabouts. I'd be disappointed if he couldn't give us a good run for our money. So they're the selections then for day 4 of the Aintree Festival. Let me know in the comments box below what you're going to be back in tomorrow. If you're also as well enjoying these videos, remember to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe here to the YouTube channel at LuckyLoads15. You can follow me on the socials as well at Twitter and Insta, where my handle is at LuckyLoads15. And that's all I've got to say. So please gamble responsibly, and we'll be seeing you again soon.